Ever heard of a city where life and death live side by side? We're heading to Varanasi in India, where the Ganges River flows and flames flicker at the Manikarnika Ghat, the world's oldest cremation ground. But here's the twist. Some folks actually choose to live right there in that cremation ground. Buckle up, because we're about to meet the Aghori ascetics, a group known for embracing death in some seriously unconventional ways. Imagine living in a cemetery, using skulls as bowls, and even cannibalism. That's the life of an Aghori. These Indian ascetics are the ultimate goth squad, defying every norm. They call themselves Beyond Fear, but are we brave enough to learn their secrets? Let's find out if the Aghoris are misunderstood or just plain mind-blowing. Agoris are often covered in ash from cremation pyres, and they also use human skulls for decoration, symbolizing their renunciation of worldly attachments. The ash also serves as a form of protection, warding off negative energies and evil spirits. They prefer to roam around naked. This, they claim, helped to overcome the feeling of shame. They let their hair grow to lengths without ever bothering about the need to cut it. This distinctive appearance further adds to the aura of mystery surrounding them. They live in and hang around graveyards, fearing no living or dead creature. They eat and drink everything from human feces to urine and putrid flesh. They smoke ganja and sometimes sleep with the dead. In tracing the history of Aghoris, we will find that the very first Aghori, who laid down the foundation of the lives for future Aghoris, was Kina Ram. According to urban legend, he lived up to 170 years and died during the second half of the 18th century. Okay, so we met the Aghoris, the fearless crew living amongst gravestones. But why the creepy digs? Unlike your average yogi who chills in nature, Aghoris see death as a teacher. Well, they take it a step further with some pretty wild rituals. We're talking witnessing cremations, offering stuff to funeral pyres, and maybe even meditating on top of... well, you get the idea. These rituals might seem morbid, but for Aghoris, it's all about understanding the cycle of life and death. By doing so, they believe they break free from earthly attachments and achieve some next-level enlightenment. Now let's dive into the most talked about and definitely most shocking aspect of Aghori life: cannibalism. Yes, you heard that right.
I see. Why do...
Aghoris have a reputation for consuming human flesh. One of the practices of the Aghori is cannibalism, but they do not kill people for their flesh. The flesh of corpses brought to the cremation grounds is what they consume. Aghoris claim they only consume flesh from those who have willingly donated their bodies after death. This usually involves people who were devotees of the sect or believed in the Aghori philosophy. They see it as a final act of service and a way to help the deceased achieve spiritual liberation. The Aghoris get the flesh from corpses floating down the river, which family members push into the Ganges River if they don't have enough money for cremation. And under the privacy of the new moon, they chant mantras, make offerings to Shiva, and consume it. This human flesh is often eaten raw, though at times it is roasted over an open fire. The flesh is likely from a body that has been partially cremated, but still has some consumable tissue. Aghoris might use sanctified tools for the process, further emphasizing the ritualistic aspect. The consumption could be accompanied by specific mantras or chants. Thus, they see no difference between good and evil, nor do they see a difference between human and animal flesh. Due to the sensitive nature and potential illegality, specifics on how Aghoris consume flesh are hard to come by. There are conflicting reports, with some suggesting they might take small, symbolic portions, while others claim a more ritualistic consumption. Not all Aghoris engage in this practice. It's likely reserved for more advanced practitioners who have undergone extensive training and possess the mental fortitude to handle it. Now, The legality and ethics get murky. Cannibalism is illegal in India, but there's a gray area when it comes to religious practices. Plus, verifying consent from the deceased is, well, impossible. Critics argue it's barbaric and disrespectful, while Aghoris defend it as a sacred ritual. But here's the real kicker. The Aghoris believe consuming flesh offers several benefits. They claim it breaks down societal taboos, helps them conquer disgust, a major hurdle on the spiritual path, and even allows them to absorb the wisdom of the deceased. But wait, there's more. Aghori practices also involve pushing boundaries beyond flesh consumption. Some Aghori rituals reportedly eat feces and drink urine. Sounds intense, right? But hey, maybe there's a method to their madness. This practice helps them overcome ego and derail the human perception of beauty. Let me also share one real-life story that is sure to blow your mind. One of the most well-known Aghoris to ever live, Tailanga Swami, was slapped and ejected from Kasi Viswanath Temple in Varanasi, India, by a priest when he saw him worshipping Lord Shiva with his own excreta. According to urban legend, the local king of Varanasi saw in his dream that the Aghori who was insulted in the temple was a reincarnation of Lord Shiva himself. And the next thing you know, the priest died under mysterious circumstances. Aghoris extend their unconventional approach to consumption beyond food and drink. They view ganja, better known as marijuana, a psychoactive plant, as a potential tool for spiritual exploration. Some Aghoris believe it can alter consciousness, allowing them to access deeper levels of meditation and connect with the divine. However, it's important to note that ganja use isn't universal among Aghoris, and some may abstain entirely. Alcohol also plays a limited role in some Aghori practices. While Hinduism generally discourages intoxication, Aghoris might consume small amounts, sometimes even mixed with ashes, as a way to break down inhibitions and enter altered states of consciousness for meditation or rituals. However, excessive alcohol consumption isn't a core Aghori practice. The Aghoris see themselves as devotees of Lord Shiva in his most fierce form, Bhairava, the destroyer and transformer. They believe Shiva embraces death and transcends duality, mirroring their own philosophy. Their practices, from dwelling in cremation grounds to using bone ornaments, are a way to connect with this aspect of Shiva and achieve liberation from the cycle of rebirth. Aghori adherents carry a human skull, or kapala. It is used as a bowl to eat, drink, and perform rituals. It reminds them that everything is beautiful and pure, because the god Shiva is present in everything. There are whispers and legends surrounding the Aghoris' lifespans. Some stories claim they can live for exceptionally long periods, sometimes exceeding 150 years. These claims are often fueled by the Aghoris' proximity to death and their seemingly fearless approach to life. The ultimate driving force behind all the Aghori practices, from dwelling in cremation grounds to defying social norms, is their pursuit of moksha. Moksha, also known as liberation, is the ultimate goal in Hinduism, signifying freedom from the cycle of rebirth or samsara, as it is called in Hinduism. They believe this path allows them to transcend the limitations of the physical world and attain moksha, a state of eternal peace and liberation from suffering. Aghoris believe that everyone is born an Aghori. A newborn child doesn't distinguish between his feces, dirt, and toys and plays with everything, and starts distinguishing among them only after their parents and society tells him or her. As the child grows up and makes choices on materialistic basis, only then he/she loses the traits of Aghori. Aghoris have a policy of no hatred towards any creature or thing. They believe that one who hates cannot meditate or reach moksha. Well, that's a lesson we can take from them. We, who always look for reasons to hate others, whether based on religious views, skin color, linguistic choices, political approaches, sexual orientation, gender, race, and whatnot. We've peered into the enigmatic world of the Aghoris, a sect that thrives in the face of death. But the questions linger. What truly motivates the Aghoris? Is their way liberation or madness? The veil may be lifted, but the mysteries of the Aghoris continue to intrigue. Let us know in the comments below what you think about the Agoris. Like and subscribe for more explorations of the strange and fascinating.